What's up, villains? Come on in, take off your shoes, sit down, have a drink or a smoke or cure what ails you. Welcome to Villainous Cinema, the YouTube series. I'm joined once again by my co-host, Nicky Evan. Nicky?
Hey everybody, how
Nicholas
you doing?
Valdez. And I, of course, am your host, Evan Landon. Then we are listener supported podcast supported by people just like you. If you want to help us out, just go to our Patreon account and Villainous Cinema. Patreon.com/Villainous Cinema, or go to villainouscinema.com, smash that donate button. But if you want to help us out non-monetarily, just hit the follow button right there and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Or you can also follow us on Facebook at Villainous Cinema, or Instagram at Villainous Cinema, or follow me on Twitter at Evan Landon. And or email us with all of your hate mail. Attention, Nicky, at villainouscinema@gmail.com. So every time that Nicky pisses you off, just send him some hate mail, and I'll forward it to him immediately.
Hell yes. Thank you.
But
that's why I turn off all notifications.
He turned off all notifications like as soon as we publish this, as soon as this goes live.
Done. Yeah. Already done.
As soon as this goes live, like Nicky turns off his cell phone.
No, but I'm gonna start out every episode like I start out every single one. Send in your message, DM us. If you want to be on the show, you will be considered. 100% of all requests will be considered, but you do have to be a viable option and be a viable opinion that we feel needed to be disclosed to our audience. Okay, so I will start that out. Make sure to send us in. If you are interesting, you will be on our show.
Well, also the other thing too is that if you have anything that you want to put out there, or you want to, you have any ideas, constructive ones always work a lot better. But just add it in the comment section below too, and we will read them. Haven't got a lot of comments yet, so as soon as those come up, those will be the first things that we address at the very beginning of each video. So whether it's negative or not, we'll, correspond in the same sort of likeness, because I mean, I'm a really nice person. I just like to share my ideas and opinions, but Nicky might not. He might have something to say.
I'm a very nice person.
He is. He really is. He's a sweetheart. Once you get to know him. But here we go. All right. So this is going to be like a new format for us. So we're going to be rounding out since the theaters are finally fucking back. Jesus Christ. Like, it's time, dude. It's fucking time. Like, ugh. I cannot wait to hear people munching on popcorn and kicking the back of my seat while I'm trying to like watch an important part of the movie. Just been missing it, But yeah, so we're back, and I guess this is what we're going to be doing is we're going to be reviewing each month as the movies come out and giving you our synopsis of these movies. And this is more for you guys than it is for us, because a lot of these movies we have not seen. So if there is any sort of comments on these movies that you have seen, drop it in the comments below, and let us know like what it is about these movies that you do want us to know and talk about, maybe see for ourselves. And that goes for everybody else too. It's like, if you're not even speaking to us about it, speak to everybody else and be like, hey, this is a place to voice your opinions. This is a safe place.
Well,
for the most part.
This is a place. We'll put it that way.
Like, this is a noun.
This is a place that you can exist in.
Right. Yeah.
And you can have a conversation. Now, whether you deem that safe is up to you.
Yeah. It's just got to be like, it should definitely pertain to the movie. Be as constructive as possible. Voice your opinions. We're not going to hate you for your opinions. Trust me. Nicky and I don't agree on everything. Exactly. We don't agree on a lot of things. But what we do agree on is being constructive, spreading our opinions, letting our opinions be known so that other people can formulate their own opinions. Not like, I'm going to call this person a bunch of names because I don't agree with them. Like,
but
that's not
fun
that's
too.
Yeah, that's, I mean, if it's, I mean, unless it's really funny, then we might be like, okay.
That's fun too. Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes trolling is what the internet
I
was
mean,
meant
in
for.
the end, we're just playing around. But
Yeah, no, but
anybody does
try,
have something
just be
constructive
respectful.
to
Yeah, just be
say,
respectful, you know?
or if anybody has, really, if anybody has something that they want to come on the show and they want to discuss, if it's something that we feel that is like, something that we want to show with our audience, we're gonna let you on, okay,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna invite you back.
Now
Okay.
there's also a really good way to get a hold of us for that, and that is to hit the subscribe button, because if you're just, commenting on things and it's like, I want to be on your show, you're not subscribed. Come on. Come on, man. Tighten up. It's like I want everyone to know what I think about this. It's like, yeah, but you're not subscribed. Yeah. And you just
Okay.
want, it's like, start your own show. That's what I always tell people. But anyways, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a breakdown, and this is the first section of this, and this is what I call rumors and innuendos. This is something that basically anything that's going around right now, where you have a lot leaks, rumors, innuendo. We'll have a whole thing that we're putting up for that too, because we are working on that. But okay, so in the works right now, apparently, I don't know if you heard about this. I mean, there is Elijah Wood has lands the lead role in the reboot for the Toxic Avenger. Thoughts on that?
Man, okay. I'll start out by saying that I think that I've seen Elijah in a good amount of productions, films, television, that he's good.
Hmm.
Okay. I do not see like the newer films that are coming out, even though I really don't have a huge liking towards them to begin with. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see them going in a good trend. Like, I can really see why a lot of people liked this first string of Marvel movies, going from Iron Man to Captain America to the Avengers stuff. All that was pretty successful and it was pretty well done. Okay.
Mhm.
But
I mean, even
unfortunately,
though you absolutely despise those movies.
yeah, like, but like,
Right, credit where
regardless,
credit's due. Yeah.
I'll give credit where credit's due. I do look at, there's a couple of pictures, like, I will point out that I still enjoy the first Iron Man. I still enjoy the first Avengers, and I still enjoy Endgame, which I think can be looked at as a very good picture. Okay. It's one of the few Avengers films where you actually have an evolution in character and you actually have an emotional content that is that needs to be given by both the protagonist, and there's a reason for an antagonist. Okay.
All right.
So for those reasons, I really like those two pictures. But this whole thing, I mean, I'm very little on actually looking into the new Marvel movies that come out. But I know that Disney's taken hold. Okay. I know that they did this new show, Winter Fucker and whatever. Okay. Sorry.
If anyone wants to make a meme of that.
Winter Soldier and Falcon. I'm sorry. I do apologize.
Winter Fucker and Soldier.
Okay. Anyway, okay. I know they're coming out with this show just recently, Loki. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Is that out now or is no?
I think it has, because my girlfriend's really into the Marvel universe, and she mentioned something about it coming out, so she had to watch the Winter Fucker show in order
Yeah,
to be
that's
up
gonna
to
be
date.
it's gonna be stuck in my head from now on. It actually comes out a couple days from now on the 9th. So,
Yeah.
so very
So
soon, very soon.
But there's like this Eternals thing that's coming out. What the fuck is that?
Oh my God. Okay. So yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's okay. I was watching a bunch of trailers and we'll get into that too. It's going to be one of our things where we talk about the trailers that are coming out either, well, we're going to talk about the ones that are coming out next month. In which case the Eternals isn't until July. So we'll have that recap for that, what we're thinking about that one. Because I have a lot of thoughts about that too, but that's what it is. But for me, like, you know, being a kid,
a lot of their actors are getting fucking old.
well, here's the thing for me too, is that Peter Dinklage is going to be in a Toxic Avenger remake too.
And I've heard that what's his face? Look, Chris Helmsworth.
Hemsworth?
Yeah, muscles on a stick.
So it's just that's what his Twitter bio says.
Yeah, like that's his new it's his new Chris Helmsworth, aka muscles on a stick. Okay.
Love you, Chris.
But I've heard that like he's not, like, to my knowledge, he's not renewing his contract to continue as Thor after Love and Thunder or whatever.
What? Love and Thunder. What is
Isn't
that?
that what it's called?
No, there's a new. He's coming out with a new one.
Like, there's a new Thor movie coming out.
Is there?
Yeah, it's
Jeez.
like look into it. It's called Love and Thunder or some shit.
Oh, let me see.
I'd ask my girl, but she's like in the other room.
Yeah, Love and Thunder. It comes out in 2022.
Yeah, so I have not heard of him renewing his contract after this. Now, that being said, you've lost essentially Thor. You will lose. You've already lost Robert Downey. Okay,
RDJ in our hearts forever.
You're not gonna lose Chris Evans, is it? Like, that plays Captain
America? No, he's already dead, man. He's dead.
Like, I mean, you won't lose him. They can always bring that character back.
Well, or also they could
some
just
other alternate universe.
No, they could also. Oh yeah, I mean the what if. I mean, they've talked about doing that for a long time.
My point is that with Captain America, the timeline is so fucking malleable. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's them going through time.
And it goes on for so long that they could easily do like some other films that coincide within the middle of his universe.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things too, is that, but I'm also gonna say this too, man. It's like these reboots are getting a little out of hand. That being said, what I was saying though about Elijah Wood, how do you feel about that? Because I feel like he has produced some really, like, he's been producing some pretty awesome movies, and he's been flying under the radar after the whole Lord of the Rings thing, just being a producer. And there was one movie, it was like it was something Bad Dad or something like that. I didn't get to see it, where it's like it subverts expectations, where he's got this like rape stash. It's like really, really interesting. And he goes to see like his this estranged dad, and everyone keeps telling me that I need to watch it, and I'm like, maybe, you know, I'm just get so bogged down with watching like a bunch of shit that, you know, the good ones kind of flip by. So that might actually go with your thing too.
Bringing up Elijah,
we could do that breakdown.
I'm gonna detour for a second here.
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to hang too long. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a film, I think it came out in about early 2000s. Okay. It was a movie called Paris Je t'aime. Okay.
Oh yeah, Paris Je t'aime.
Paris Je t'aime.
Paris Je t'aime. Oh yeah, it's I Love You, Paris, right? Hey, I know French.
I don't know French.
I've been to Canada. I've been to Canada.
I don't know French. But I somewhat was taught how to pronounce it right since my mother grew up in Paris. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, Paris Je t'aime is this film of short films, okay, that are all done by different directors that all take place within Paris. And one of them was done by the Coen brothers. Another one was done by Timothy Taukler or something Taukler, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
really well done a compilation of short films. Okay. One of them is with Elijah Wood, and I remember him being very, very good in that. Okay. He plays like a vampire kid or something. Okay. Anyway, that being said, he's been doing some good pictures like for quite a while. And you know, including not you know, taking out, you know, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and all that stuff, like, you know, is very good. Is very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Whether you want to say that he's gone under the radar kind of since that's fine, whatever, you know, but he did good in that, and he's done good after that, and he did some good projects before that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely what I'm saying. Is that he's definitely one of the most like, but I'd say like he's one of the most behind the scenes guys that that as a child actor actually made it to being something, you know, even bigger than himself as an actor. You know, he's and he's done a lot of things, and like he's actually stood up for organized child star sexual abuse and shit. Not that it happened to himself, but he was right there along with it, and it could have been him, you know.
That makes me think of that movie that just came out. It wasn't too long ago. When I say too long ago, I always get in this argument with my girlfriend. Always. Okay. And I always say, like, well, you know what? She's like, that's an old movie. And I'm like, well, in the context of film, it really is not. Okay. You're talking about a movie, you know, she'll be like, a movie from the 90s is old. And I'm like, within the context of film, considering they've been doing this thing for the past 120 years or some shit.
Yeah. Okay. Since we discovered
like,
film, you know,
it's a really
moving
not
pictures.
That long.
What we like to call motion pictures. And
I don't even start to call a film like old until like 1930, mid 30s, 40s, you know, like that's an old film for me. Okay. Like pre-silent film is an old film for me. You know, a relatively modern film is like, you know, a retro film is like 1960s, 70s, 80s maybe. And then like independent and modern film all started within the 90s up until today.
Yeah, that's one of those things too, is that you know, that's where you're at. What were you saying, is that like she considers 1990s to be old movies?
Yeah, I mean she's
yeah.
She's getting there little by little, understanding a little better.
Well, you know, that's one of the things too, is that, you know, I watch a lot of movies that came out before I was born. All right, but yeah, so finishing up that thought, what was your thoughts on that? Elijah Wood?
I think it'll be interesting.
Oh, okay.
I think it'll be interesting.
So just the fact that you got a brain behind the camera and in front and behind the camera, even though it's a reboot and Hollywood should not be making more reboots. I'm going to move on to our next topic.
No, I get scared of one thing.
Oh, what's up?
I get scared of
spiders,
of people getting pegged into the like comic book thing. Okay, that's going on right now. Like, I'm gonna just point out a couple.
Well, I mean, the Toxic Avenger was not a comic. Well, it became a comic book, but it was a trauma movie. And you know how I feel about those trauma movies. It's part of my childhood. They had action figures for children. They had a cartoon. They had everything.
Superhero / fucking comic book movies. That's the in thing right now. Okay. I compare it in a lot of ways to the way that they churned out all those freaking Westerns in like the late 60s, early 70s. They were just churning those fuckers out using the same goddamn set in like, and it was just like 2 movies a day. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Both of them starring John Wayne.
Yeah, both like dudes on contract for like 20 years. Like,
Yeah,
just
all he
like,
has to do is show up to one set, and they're like, "Yeah, we could do both
yeah,
of these right now."
just like they were just churning them out. Okay. And you'd go to the movies and you'd see the double features. Okay. And this was, you know, like you can even go back as far as like early 60s,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
late 50s, okay, and they were churning them out until like good into the 70s. And I see that as the way that I see the Marvel movies. They're gonna come out with supposedly 20 more. 20 more. Are you
Okay.
kidding me?
And you
Like,
gotta feed the monkey, or else
so
it wouldn't do backflips.
so anyway, but do you see westerns now
Hell no.
at all?
No, no, no. Well, I mean, every once in a while you see like you catch one like 310 to Yuma, which is also a remake. But a good one, no, no, you don't see
No,
that.
like
Bone
you don't
Tomahawk
see
though, Bone
westerns.
Tomahawk was fucking amazing. I could go on for hours about that movie.
Um,
But yeah. Speaking
like,
of, but are you finishing up your thought? Because we
wait.
got to move on to a couple of different things. But yeah,
I
finish,
know, I know, I know.
finish
And
up
this
your
is
thought.
gonna be a long episode. I already feel it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm trying to get through this
Um,
one segment.
I already feel this being a long episode.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm just gonna throw out one last point. Do you
Okay.
remember the rom-coms of the 1990s?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay.
Those are what I consider my horror movies.
Okay. Well, do
You're
you
gonna end
see
up with some
those?
stranger for the rest of your life that you're in love with and is gonna treat you like shit because his
Do
last
you
relationship didn't
see?
work out. Oh, awesome.
Do
Yeah, why not?
you see rom-coms that often today?
Uh, if if they exist, they're like way not
No.
on my radar.
Like, but my point is that in the 90s, that shit was like the hot shit. Like,
Right,
there was no way of,
getting around it.
looking or concentrating on film in one way or another that you were not getting exposed to that. Okay. And I look at this Marvel, Superman, comic book, DC whole fucking thing. Okay.
Hmm.
You can easily look at the westerns of the 1960s and 70s and the fucking rom-coms and the independent film of the 90s, and you can look at Marvel and you can just say, okay, logically, what is going to happen?
Well, there you go. Is that hey, everyone loves the new kitten when it comes when it gets to the house, but as soon as it's shitting all over everyone's carpet and pissing all everyone's clothes, it's no longer cute. That being said, about reboots.
Okay, let's move on now.
No, we're moving on.
Yeah.
Got a good segue for this too. That's not a good segue if I say it's a good segue. But speaking of reboots, it looks like Seth Rogen is wanting to reboot Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Thoughts on that?
Wait. So Rogan wants to reboot.
Seth Rogen, not Joe Rogan. I'd actually be interested in the Joe Rogan one. But no, Seth Rogen is rebooting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action movie. Thoughts?
Live action Ninja Turtles.
Seth Rogen.
Okay. Like before I bash this, I want to say that I am a massive fan. Okay.
Seth
and
Rogen?
truly,
You know, him and Elijah Wood were in a movie together.
no. I mean, I like Seth Rogen. He's fine, but I'm not a massive fan. But I am a massive fan, and I was like a product of the era of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So was I. So was
I
I.
am.
I
Totally
remember.
product
I
of that
remember.
time.
I remember having my first music class in the second grade, and because all the kids were just fucking like jumping on desks and spitting on each other and shit. Like the music teacher, as soon as the teacher left, music teacher comes in and she's like, "Okay, we're gonna learn Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the theme song." And everyone sat down. They're like, "Oh, yeah, you got our attention. What's up?" It was that big of a thing.
I loved that. That fucking cartoon was one of the best cartoons ever. Like, I loved it.
Do you think?
Okay.
Do you think that Seth Rogen can do a good homage to it because he was maybe a child of the late '80s, early '90s?
He could theoretically, yeah. Hypothetically, like we could.
But we also
We could
have to
have
look.
a.
We
We
also
could
have to
have
look
a.
at the Green Hornet remake. But he was not a child of the late '60s, so that also speaks volumes to that.
Hypothetically, what did he have any like
He was the Green
involvement?
Hornet. He was the Green Hornet. If you go back and watch that movie, you're just gonna be like, "Oh my
Yeah, but
god!"
besides acting, did he actually have any like involvement in the behind the scenes or production of the film?
Did he? Let's see. Hold on. Let's find out. Because that, like, I mean, even if he didn't, I mean, if he produced it, that he's back there being like, "Well, I'm in charge. I mean, it's basically my money. This is my idea." And then everyone's got to be like, "Okay, sorry, Seth." Yeah, no, he's the same age as me. Actually, I'm older than him by a couple months. He was born in April. I was born in December. So there's that. Yeah, fuck you, Seth. I'm older.
Um,
No, but yeah, Sausage Party was says Green Hornet. Yes, he was an executive producer and writer. So yeah,
and writer?
yep, he
Oh
wrote it.
God!
That is his baby.
Like okay, so
It came out in 2011, and the Green Hornet went on to make a huge chunk of change. It had a budget of 110 to 120 million, depending on PSAs and everything. And then the box office was 227.8 million. So it was a success despite reviews. And so you know what? I'm pretty sure everyone was like, "Oh, we're not sure if we could spend like 110 million dollars on this, Seth." And he's like, "Oh, I got it. No, I got it. It was good. It'll be good." And then they made money on it despite itself.
that's a bomb. Like that's like
It's not a bomb. It grossed so much, but it's a shit movie. I mean,
not
no, it's not.
really.
No one's gonna remember it. I mean, except for
You're
us when we sit here
saying
and talk
that
about Seth Rogen as a writer
saying that
producer.
the budget was 130, okay, and they made
Like
270.
110. It's like 110. So
110 to
like they would consider
270.
that. They would consider that breaking even. I'm sure.
Exactly. So if you don't make 3 times what your budget is, like that's 3 times is
Well,
breaking even.
a bomb is considered when it doesn't even make its money back. This one made about twice its money back. So
I mean, you obviously want to make your money back, but they call it breaking even when it's 3 times.
yeah, sure. All right, and then last thing here. I don't have a really good segue for this, but we're going to be talking about this movie very shortly. There
What?
was
I mean, let's
more.
get into
Wait,
this.
oh no no.
Wait.
I
Wait.
was, oh,
Wait.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So how do you feel about this whole Marvel universe going on for 20 more films, if I'm not mistaken?
Hey, you know what? Star Wars is owned by him too, so I'm looking for a crossover, baby.
What? Like
Yeah, Star
Iron,
Wars versus Marvel characters.
Iron
Okay.
Star Vader?
Iron Sky Vader,
Sky Vader?
Captain Sky. They're getting ideas. We're giving them ideas. That's the problem. That's why I didn't want to talk about it.
You get this? R2 Widow?
It's like the Blade franchise. Yeah, but it's on Tatooine. It's like, fuck. All those rights went back to him too. But let's move on to this. There was a movie that came out not last month, but a month right before it, and it's not going to get to be talked about. But it's a movie called Mortal Kombat, and it's based off of a video game, which I think that the video game format is going to start coming back, especially if Disney Plus is involved, because they're also involved with a lot of the video game formats. In which case, the Bad Batch came out and has just basically cut scenes from video games. This one is they have found. It was teased at the end of Mortal Kombat that they were going to be finding Johnny Cage because he was not in the first film. So they're going out to find Johnny Cage, and it looks like they've found their guy. Now they had a couple of people that were up for this. Mike the Miz Mizanin from WWE, he was talked about doing it. And then you had Chris Pratt was in the talks for it too, and then down to Ryan Reynolds, who's already in the Marvel universe, but that's okay because Chris Evans also played Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four movies. But there was also, and I even thought to myself, I'm like, hey man, let's give JCVD a call back, man, Jean-Claude Van Damme, because that's who the character's built around. It was just like an old disgruntled fucking Johnny Cage, man. Like, like let's take a new thing out. But turns out that they have decided on Charlie Hunnam from the Sons of Anarchy, English actor who's just in that King Arthur movie. Thoughts on that? Are you aware, do you know Charlie Hunnam?
I think that it's a bad idea to do a Mortal Kombat film anyway, like no matter what.
Well, they're signed on for 5 of those fuckers.
I think it's a shitty fucking idea, and it's a shitty universe.
You say it's a shitty. You also say it's a shitty idea to just be making video game movies in the first place, right?
Yeah. I mean, they just like. I'll give it to you. I'll give this to you. They're basing a movie off of a video game today, and the video games that I grew up with are entirely different. Okay. But you have to remember what the Mortal Kombat game that this is based off of.
Yeah, well, it's a Mortal Kombat game. It's pick your character and go.
Fight in a box.
Or a pit.
Okay.
But you can only move forward or backwards.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Like, what are you going to come up with in there?
I mean, you can come up with anything. That's what people did. They were like, yeah, you can put any story with these fucking assholes. I was like, no, let's play them.
I know, but it's stupid. If you're going to do that, just come up with your own story.
Yeah, that's it. That's what they did. That's what they did. That is what they did. They just took the characters and made a story.
Yeah, but like, why even take the characters?
I don't know. Well, money.
Why even fuck with that game? Like, why constrict yourself to that?
I don't know. Well,
anyway,
let's move on to our next segment here, or as I'd like to call it, what happened this month of May, or whatever. This is going to be what happened we're doing month of May report on pretty much all the things that all the movies that came out and how they grossed. And we can actually just start off with what happened at the box office. Let's do that first. Grossing almost $57 million. So the total gross across the world, $69 million. You have May 28th, Paramount Pictures, A Quiet Place Part 2, leaving everything in the dust in only a couple of days, followed only by Cruella, and that is at 26, and then overall total gross across the world 32 million. So that's a Walt Disney movie, obviously. The other one's a Paramount Pictures movie, and this is people getting back into the theaters. And for some reason, they're both released on the same day, but A Quiet Place Part 2 beat the dog shit out of Cruella. It's also the highest grossing film of May, and is like maybe like 3 days in. Like they had a weekend.
Yeah, well, we have to kind of give that to the first installment that was really good.
After that, we're followed by Wrath of Man, the Jason Statham vehicle by United Artists, and I believe it was directed by Guy Ritchie, written and directed by Guy Ritchie. It's released on May 7th. And now, if you start to think about it like this, and all the numbers actually roll down like a lot more the same, you have all like about 3,000 to 4,000 theaters housing any of these at the moment because of the whole thing that's going on. But they're going to be building theaters a lot because AMC stock has risen a lot. I know that because a lot of people that don't give a shit about movies but they care about money have been asking me about it. So there's that. Anyways, and then after Wrath of Man at 20 million, or across the board, so Cruella already beat this one out, but this was released on May 14th. Spiral, the 100 millionth installment into the Saw franchise. I believe this is episode.
Oh, for real?
This is like
They're
dude,
still going
they're
with the
still,
salt?
yeah, but this one's got Chris Rock in it and Samuel L. Jackson, and it's what they would call a prequel. I don't know. I was never a big fan of the Saw movies, and you know the kind of movies that I'm really a big fan of, and it just never resonated with me. But and then we'll just round it out with the fifth one, and you gotta go down a little bit for this. Is actually number ninth, like in all the grossing. It's actually out of the theaters now. It's the Angelina Jolie vehicle, Those Who Wish Me Dead, and that's coming in at a paltry 7 million against a
Okay, wait.
$23 million budget.
This Jolie movie, what do you mean by that?
Those Who Wish Me Dead. Oh, you
Yeah,
didn't even know
well,
it was out there?
what did she do in that?
She was basically a smoke jumper or a firefighter who like she didn't do the firefighting, like she was
Yeah,
kind of
but
like a coward. And that's
yeah,
what I
but
don't know.
some years back, she stated that she was getting out of acting and she was gonna focus on directing.
Well, I guess that just makes her a liar.
Well, did she direct this picture?
No, she did not. It's based off a screenplay by Michael Coriata, Charles Levitt, and Taylor Sheridan. It's based on a book by Michael Coriata. But it's starring her, and she is not a producer. And she's the director is Taylor Sheridan, who was also on the screenplay. So yeah, this is
good.
it's a lot for it. So yeah, Taylor Sheridan, and so yeah, she's
Like I forget what were the pictures that I've seen by him, but he had some good pictures.
yeah. I
some
mean,
years
I'm not
back.
saying that it's a bad movie, but she's definitely in it. So is Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. He's in there too. Jake Weber from fucking Dawn of the Dead remake. John Barenthal, as we all know, as the Punisher. Hopefully still. So yeah, it did a paltry 16 million at the box office, and they have not really released how much it costs. Oh, yeah, it's not good. So yeah, no, it's definitely not a good. People did not go out in droves to see this one.
No.
But it did clean up on HBO Max, and so that's really the thing that's important, you know. I mean, because that's what's happening. People are not going out to do that, so it's hard to tell like what exactly they're gonna get paid. But dumping things to Netflix is definitely, I don't know if that's the way to go, but it's definitely in there. But here, speaking of
I
the
think
ones,
the way to go is simultaneous premiere.
yeah, no, definitely. What are some movies that came out that we did not see? Moby Doc. I don't know if that's actually something that's I don't, it's not porno, hopefully. Uh,
Moby Doc.
yeah, yeah. And let's see, what's another one? We had Into the Darkness, Army of the Dead. I don't know if you watched that. That's the one where Batista and takes people on a heist and has to, and it's basically Ocean's 11 meets Dawn of the Dead. It's about 2.5 hours long. It's by Zack Snyder. I don't know if you have enough time in your life for that.
No.
Nah, I watched it. I mean, I watched part of it. Most of it I was just kind of doing housework.
I'm not in the whole Zack Snyder fan club. Like,
yeah. No, definitely. There was another movie called When Hitler Stole the Pink Rabbit.
you know what
And that was that looks a little interesting because of the title, there's a lot there.
I don't know why I saw this, and I know this isn't recent. I'm gonna bring it up anyway because.
No, we're talking about May though.
Huh?
We're talking about the month of May, last month.
Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna bring up this older movie. Have you ever this movie that was about the it's called like the Death of Stalin, a satire picture of Stalin, like that came out like not too long ago, maybe 2018 or something.
Nah, I don't know that one.
I don't know why I thought I would bring it up, but it's curious. If anybody sees it, like comment on the video so they can let me know how it is.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, because that's
Like
yeah,
it looks
if it's
interesting.
entertaining or not, I'll definitely watch it. But if people are like, yeah, don't watch it, I'm like, I watch it.
It was definitely put in like a satire context from what I saw of it.
There
So,
was that one movie, I forget what it was called, but it was everyone kept telling me to go see that one too because it's nothing but comedians and it's like kids being brought up in the SS. It was just something rabbit,
yeah.
I don't know. Forget what that was. But also Wrath of Man was in there too. So that was the month of May for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and lean in since we are already in June, so we're a little bit out of context. I'm gonna go ahead and say that June 4th is when a couple of other movies came out. One of these movies is called Spirit Untamed, and it is cleaning up at the box office right now. It's Lucky Prescott, Merced, Dora, and Lost City of Gold. Really never knew their late mother, Milagro. A fearless horse riding stunt performer from Mediaro, the small town of the edge-wide open frontier. Have you seen anything for this or no?
Nope.
And it's rated PG. It's animated, and it not only is Elsa Gonzalez the main person, but Jake Gyllenhaal is also one of the voices. So that one's cleaning up right now. I mean, I have no wish to see it unless my niece wants to see it. No, I'll go see it. But besides that, I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's not what I really get into. Yeah. So that's, I mean, it's just not the kind of movies that, you know, I usually watch. So I just, like, yeah.
No.
Another movie that just came out too is a movie called The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Now, it's a continuation of the Conjuring franchise, and reveals a chilling story of terror, murder, and unknown evil that shocked even experienced real-life paranormal investigators, allegedly, Ed and Lorraine Warren. Lorraine, one of the most sensational cases from their files. It starts with a fight for the soul of a young boy, then takes them beyond anything they'd ever seen before to the mark. First time in news history that a murder suspect would claim demonic possession as a defense. Thoughts?
Damn.
There's a lot of these trailers out there. Have you seen them?
No, not really. I'm not like, I haven't seen any of this stuff.
Well, I'm not seeing it. Mom, do you want to see it? Mom's here for anyone that listens to the podcast. Mom's right here. She just came home from church. This is how I fritter away my Sunday afternoons. Yeah, but then all right, so there's another one that's teased for coming out, and this is comes out on June 8th. And I saw something for this, and I really think that this one's gonna be, this is definitely an R-rated Oscar-worthy movie. So I'll just give you like I'll just give you a quick so Gully is an explosive and timely story of three boyhood friends, Calvin, Nicky, and Jesse, surviving an upbringing in LA's roughest neighborhoods. Steeped in violence but united by friendship, together they find their escape in one out-of-control night of partying. But when the rampage stops, retribution begins. Thoughts?
I don't know.
Rated R.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, like, but if you do watch a trailer and anyone listening wants to watch a trailer, I'd say watch that trailer because it seems pretty interesting. Very well shot in the ghetto of LA, basically. So like basically South Central. And then June 10th, there's a movie called Infinite that comes out. I like this because it stars Mark Wahlberg as Evan. Yeah. I'm like he gets it. Skill for Evan Macaulay Culkin. Skills he never has learned, and memories of places he has never visited haunt his daily life. Self-medicated and on the brink of mental breakdown, a secret group that call themselves Infinites come to his rescue, revealing to him that his memories are real, but they are from multiple past lives. That's one sentence. I didn't write this, but it sounds a lot like I did. The Infinites bring Evan into their extraordinary world, where a gifted few are given the ability to be reborn with their memories and knowledge accumulated over centuries. With critical secrets buried in his past, comma, Evan must work with the Infinites to unlock the answers in his memories in a race against time to save humanity in one of their own, which what I loved you for, seeks to destroy it. Thoughts on that one? And all it is the Ouroboros too, number 8. And I'm like, oh, his name's Evan. Oh, it's Mark Wahlberg. It's playing me. Is it time travel? You know how I love time travel movies. They're always wrong. There's no such thing as time travel.
They're always wrong.
There's no such thing, so it doesn't exist. But I think this also brings apart. I feel like the description of this and the kind of movie that they're going for is that these people are eternal, not the Marvel Studios one, but eternal to where they are reincarnated. Question mark. So I feel like it might be it might be one of those really flimsy scripts, which case like most time travel ones are, and I'm just gonna love just watching it because it looks like it's just a lot of Christopher Nolan type action, just like poor man's Christopher Nolan movie. I know we're not doing it. We're not doing it. Okay, so and then moving on.
Glad that we don't have a Christopher Nolan in this month's box office because I would just have to rag on that shit.
Yeah, well,
Anyway.
well, here we go. The next that Friday, June 11th, is a movie R-rated, and it's an action thriller starring none other than Pierce Brosnan. It goes like this: even a federal maximum security prison can't hold Richard Pace, Golden Globe nominee Pierce Brosnan, a brilliant international thief, but his daring escape and high-octane car chase, eluding the FBI and police, ends with him being scooped up by the Misfits, a band of modern-day Robin Hoods, or it's the band of Misfits. Oh, whatever. Led by the eccentric and charismatic Ringo, Nick Cannon, with Violet, Jamie Chung, and the Prince, Rami Jabir, and Wick, Mike Angelo. With Pace's daughter Hope, Ermani Corfield, a mysterious group who do devious things for all the right reasons. The skilled group convinces Pace to join them to pull off the heist of the century, stealing millions in gold bars kept under one of the most secure prisons on Earth, owned by rogue businessman Schultz Tim Roth, and used for funding terrorist corporations and groups worldwide. Aside from the money, Pace wants revenge against Schultz. Whatever. My thoughts of that?
It sounds fun, but probably not that good.
Yeah, like it seems like I feel like I just stopped reading because it's like I feel like they just told me the entire movie, which is fine too. The House Next Door, Meet the Blacks 2. We won't talk about that. In the Heights, it looks like this is Lin-Manuel Miranda's follow-up to Hamilton. This is one that takes place in 3 days in the Upper Manhattan neighborhood of Washington Heights, where a bodega owner inherits his late grandmother's lottery winnings and plans to shutter his store and retire on a beach in the Dominican Republic. Trying to say farewell to the characters who live on the block, he realized that his neighbors are his real family, and he's torn about leaving them. Thoughts on that? It's a musical.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw Hamilton, but this is by the same guy that did Hamilton.
That could be cool. I actually haven't seen Hamilton.
You should watch it and give you like a better idea what this one's about. You know, I really liked it. I liked Hamilton. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to sound like one of those, assholes that's like, oh, Breaking Bad's the best, fucking movie.
No, I've heard
it was good.
A lot of people that
I was a fan. I was a fan. Yeah, people whose opinions matter to me, they loved it. So, all right, and then you got Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway. I'm not going to talk about that. Sorry. Then we on June 16th, Wednesday. That's so weird because now they got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday premieres that are coming out. It's really odd because usually it's like the weekend, right? Like
Yeah.
the box office. So, anyways, Wednesday, June 16th, in theaters is The
It's
Hitman's
probably
Wife.
'cause not so many theaters are available.
Yeah, well, it's like they're probably So I mean, like, what was it? We were like, even what we were talking about last month, like what they were grossing at the movie theaters, it was only like 3 to 4 thousand theaters world, nationwide.
Yeah.
So you don't have the numbers for across the world, but I'm sure a lot of them fell out too. So that this one is The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. This one is a sequel to The Hitman's Bodyguard, which starred Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. And this is the world's most lethal odd couple bodyguard, Michael Bryce, Ryan Reynolds, and hitman Darius Kincaid, Samuel L. Jackson, are back on another life-threatening mission. Still unlicensed and under scrutiny, Bryce is forced into action by Darius's even more volatile wife, the infamous international con artist Sonia, played by Salma Hayek. As Bryce is driven over the edge by his two most dangerous protectees, the trio get in over their heads in a global plot and soon find that they are all that stand between Europe and a vengeful, powerful madman played by Antonio Banderas. Joining the fun and deadly mayhem is Morgan Freeman as well, so you'll just have to see. Thoughts on that?
Nah.
I never saw the first one. I mean, there wasn't anything that was making me want to watch it. But this one is like, oh well, we're just gonna like double up on this shit.
Basically, like I don't know. I mean, it sounds fun, but it's probably not going to be that good. But I didn't see the first one, so.
Well, against a $30 to $69 million budget, the movie itself grossed 176.6 million. So it warranted having a sequel, or it didn't. I hate doing sequels, but whatever. I can't actually build an actual. And I said this too before we started, is that it's hard for me to give an opinion about a movie that I haven't seen. But I was like, there wasn't anything that made me want to go see it. So now I do have to go see it because I think in this one, in the original one, Gary Oldman plays the villain. So I gotta go see that now. On my list of shit to do. And I'll let you know. I'll let you know what I think. And then you got like a lot of other things that are there's a lot of other movies that came out too. So not a whole lot that happened that weekend. Or is that weekend, unless something pops up, because I don't know. I think that what they're expecting is going to be like In the Heights, all these movies that are coming out on the 11th, and this is speculation though. All these movies that are coming out on the 11th are going to like completely overtake the next one. But there is one that's at the top for Friday, June 18th, and I don't know anything about this, but it is an animated feature. So it looks like it's another one of those Pixar kind of deals. And then it's set in beautiful seaside town of Italian Riviera. The original animated feature is a coming of age story about one young boy experiencing an unforgettable summer filled with gelato, pasta, and endless scooter rides. That sounds awesome. Luca shares these adventures with his newfound best friend, but all the fun is threatened by a deeply held secret. He is a sea monster from another world just below the water surface.
Oh, man.
All right. And that's all it says about that. And yes, I am interested.
Okay. So, no, but I'm going to go back to just a couple of these.
That one's called Luca, in case anyone was trying to rewind to find out what that was.
I want to go back to the very beginning. I'm gonna go back to A Quiet Place 2 because I think that one's disgusting.
Well, hold on. But yeah, there's only a couple more, and there's only one more basic release. Okay, so this is the last week of June. This is June 25th, Friday, and it looks like they're gonna round all this up on weekends again. That's gonna be Fast and Furious 9.
God damn.
It's PG-13. And Vin Diesel's Dom Toretto is leading a quiet life off the grid with Letty and his son, little Brian. But they know that danger always lurks just over their peaceful horizon. This time, that threat will force Dom to confront the sins of his past if he's going to save those he loves most. His crew joins to stop a world-shattering plot led by most skilled assassin and high-performance driver they've ever encountered, a man who also happens to be Don's forsaken brother, Jacob, played by John Cena. Then they have to go. Then they have to go back in time and stop Hitler. Fast and Furious 9. I cannot wait for Fast and Furious in outer space. It's like, but Dom, our cars won't drive in outer space. No, it's okay.
Propulsion.
We got a Judson car. All right, and then you got Mary J. Blige's My Life. So we all know about her story about Mary J. Blige with all of her battles and everything. 9-time Grammy Award-winning, Academy Award-winning nominated actress. Set the music for World on Fire. Blah blah blah. She's basically like running down her accomplishments.
It could be cool.
It might be okay. I mean, it might be okay.
It's done well. Like it's.
Yeah. No, I might. Really, yeah, I'd be into watching that.
I think I'd be into watching that.
Yeah, it's basically, but so there's like My Life, the singer, producer, and actress reveals the demons and blessings that inspired the record and propelled her from the soul-crushing world of New York's housing projects to international stardom. In the process, she celebrates the 25th anniversary of her most influential work by performing the album live for the first time. So that's Mary J. Blige, My Life. That's coming out at the end of June. So we'll probably see some of these by that time and give our opinions on it. This one I have not heard of, so I'm not going to talk about it. It's called The Evil Next Door. Sounds like my kind of movie. Actually, you know what? It's very short. New to her stepmom role, Sharon moves into a duplex with her partner Frederick and his son Lucas. The new home feels like the right place to start up becoming a family, but when Frederick leaves for work, strange things are heard from the other uninhabited side. Also, who is Lucas's new best friend? That's how it ends. This one I actually did see. These next few I did see the trailers for. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna talk about them because this is like way more of like the usual tripe that I watch. Anyways, this one's called Werewolves Within. It's rated R. Werewolves Within. This is it looks like it's like a piece where you have like a lot of people in it. I forget what's that called. But yeah. After a proposed gas pipeline creates divisions within the small town of Beaverfield, and a snowstorm traps its residents together inside a small local inn, newly arrived forest ranger Finn, played by Sam Richardson, and postal worker Cecily, played by Milana Yanthrop, must try to keep the peace and uncover the truth behind a mysterious creature that has begun terrorizing the community. And I have seen the trailer for this, and it is amazing. It's called Werewolves Within. It's basically the only thing I'm looking forward to out of all of them the most. I mean, I'll go see the other ones, but this one I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm definitely going to see this. Support this movie. Yeah, it's your basic werewolf movie. We haven't had one in a while, right? Yeah. What's the last notable werewolf movie? Dog Soldiers, maybe.
I'm not sure. I mean, because werewolves haven't been in like
Ginger Snaps,
in regular viewing since like vampires were like popular.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, here's another one that I want to talk about before we get away from this, because the rest of them was just like Zola, which is a stripper's wild adventure in Florida, led to prostitution, violence, and murder. That doesn't really. It stars James Franco, so I'm not really sure if that's a biography. He's had a lot of legal problems with beating women. And then that's why Seth Rogen did not cast him in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, hey, it's speculation. Speculation. That's speculation. He's never coming on our show.
James Franco or
James
Rogen?
We could probably get Rogen. All right, so Felix and the Hidden Treasure. 12-year-old Felix is convinced that his father, this is another animated, like Pixar kind of deal. Felix is convinced that his father, who went missing at sea 2 years ago, is still alive. So Felix sets off to find him, accompanied by Tom, a retired sailor, Squawk, a thieving one-legged parrot, and Rover, a cat who acts like a duck. Their journey leads them to Dark Shadow Island, where they find a secret underground city ruled by the tyrannical Morga, keeper of an incredible treasure. So this also looks like it was internationally made too. So this could be a franchise in the making. Yeah. And this is the other one that I wanted to talk to. I saw the trailer for this one. This is called False Positive. And I saw the trailer for this, and I'm pretty sure that you're not going to be able to really. I'll just, it's a one sentence paragraph, basically. After months of trying and failing to get pregnant, Lucy, Alana Glazer, and Adrian, Justin Theroux, with them, finally find their dream fertility doctor in the illustrious Dr. Hindle, played by Pierce Brosnan. But after becoming pregnant with a healthy baby girl, Lucy begins to notice something sinister through Hindle's gleaming charm and sets out to uncover the unsettling truth about him and her own birth story, as if getting pregnant weren't complicated enough. Now, if anyone wants to go and watch any of these, I think that we would be able to show some of these as soon as like we do the right YouTube algorithm. We're able to kind of figure all this out. But yeah, that is all the movies that we're excited for next month. In which case, at the end of next month, we'll do another one of these. We'll give you our thoughts on those and do it again.
Not all the ones that we're excited about. That's just the ones that happen to be coming out.
Right. Well, I mean, like those are the releases that are happening this month.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a lot that are coming out in July. Though.
Not excited about this.
Remember,
First one in Pierce Brosnan.
It's cinema summer, man. It is like every year is cinema summer, except for last summer. But there's a reason for that, and we're gonna be back there. But we're starting it up, man. Whole world's rebooting. We're rebooting, and we got a YouTube channel where we can talk about this shit. So, what's important to me, I think, is the fact that we're going back to the theater. We can actually figure out like how many theaters this is opened in, you know, like what the box office totals are, but also we're actually starting to get a little bit more in what stockholders who have stock in Hulu, Netflix, Shudder, which is also Netflix, but I mean AMC, A&E, like CBS, NBC, WWE, like they all have streaming services, you know, so we're starting to find out a lot more about that too, now that a lot of these places are publicly traded. Now, the fact that they're publicly traded and not privately traded is helping GameStop and AMC come back. So, you know, I'm not an economist. I didn't graduate from school, you know, I mean, except for that audio school. So, you know, in high school, I don't have a degree in anything. I'm not a smart person. Like, if you ask me like what, you know, 45 times 45 is, I'll be like, I don't know, like 9,000, something like that. Like, that's not true. I don't know. Just round it up. But that's the other thing is that like, that's how, you know, you kind of figure it out. But doing the numbers and everything, it's not like basic economy. like learning it, like the ins and outs and structures and financial structure of these things. Like I'm not well versed enough to actually tell you about it. But what I can do is measure up the box office, how much they promote it, what they're paying their actors, how much those actors are going to be getting on the back end of it too, because they also take stock in their own movies these days. I don't know if they actually do that anymore. I don't know, but I'll find out and be like, yeah, dude, this is what happens. And then people can, make their own decisions on what happens. And I'll be like, hey, look, I'm just letting you know, I have a very basic knowledge of numbers. I only have like 10 of these. Sometimes I put them on my ass.
No, but whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully everybody enjoyed this. Nikki, do you have anything that you want to add to our conversation?
I wanna discuss
this is Nikki's time. New segment.
Okay.
Nikki's time.
So I want to bring up a couple of things that I think could be interesting. Okay. Out of this long list of things that has come in, that has recently come out, in some cases, or that it has is going to come out. So, Quiet Place 2.
Did you see it?
First one was
I saw the
really
first one.
good.
I saw the first
Okay.
one. So like, but I have something to say about that too, is that I did see the first one. I did not see the second one. A lot of people have seen the second one. So drop your comments in the comments below because I have not seen it. Nikki, did you see it? Did you see it? No, you didn't see it. Okay. So Nikki didn't see it either. So now what we're working with here is that neither of us seen. I saw the first one. I saw the first one, and like seeing in a theater, unless it's like, there's something like creaking behind me, that might be kind of cool.
Like, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. It could be good. I watched some analysis of some segments and stuff of it. It looks kind of cool. But it's not really my film area. But that being said, the first one came out super well and was well played out. I don't know why they felt the need to do a sequel, but I get the want to make money off of a sequel.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, like, it did well enough to actually like be a sequel, because that's one of those things too, is that when like a lot of the movies that I think about making, and I'm like, well, this seems like a really good idea. And then I'll be like, well, you can't fit everything into one movie. It's like, well, I can, but I got to take out a lot of shit and I got to make it all cohesive and whatever. That's writing or storytelling or whatever. Screenplays, screenplay is different. But then when you're in that place and you're trying to tell a story, it's like, well, what if I break it up into 3 movies? It's like, well, you got to see how good the first one does before you start thinking about doing a second one, because those, like, if it bombs, those producers ain't coming back.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to say like, well, I'm making a sequel to this movie, it's like, how did it do? It's like, well, not well. A lot of movies like that though. A lot of movies are like that. But so like, if you can fit everything into one story instead of making a trilogy and sequels and all that, it's like, yeah. But I guess this one warranted that.
They did a couple of things. They're using the same actors. The little girl was very impressive in the first picture. She seems to be impressive on this one. What's her face? Emily Blunt. She's good. I'm not a huge fan, but like, she's a good actress. She does good performances. And hopefully they kept like some of the other players like involved in the first picture, like, like involved in this one.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, Emily, what I'll speak to that too, is that Krasinski and Blunt, like, even though I'm not like someone who searches out their movies, whenever they show up, I'm like, oh, that's good, like, they're doing good, and apparently they work well together. So, especially when it's like their own like thing, they're like, oh, I've got an idea. Oh yeah, what's that, babe? It's like, oh, cool. It's like, well, we made money off the last one. Why don't we do another one? It's like, oh yeah, what's your idea? I don't know. Just, just hanging out. Think about having another baby. It's like, oh yeah, another one. Um, yeah, let's make a movie about it. We'll
So
call it false positive.
now, my final rant before I close my segment up, like, because I'm only bringing up 2 movies of these things that are come out. One, I think Quiet Place is gonna be good, and it's gonna be interesting, and it's gonna be, I thought that the Quiet Place, the original, was one of the first like horror movies in a long time that I really enjoyed and really like was gave that uh stress level, okay, that I think there's too much jump scare and not enough tension that's built up in films nowadays, okay. And I always feel that like in Kubrick films, I always feel that in like Alien, the original, I love it because it like builds up the tension, like until you're like, what the fuck? Just show me him already. So like I like that. I really like that about The Quiet Place. But the second thing I'm gonna bring up is I'm really upset about Cruella. I don't like this at all. They are destroying a great villain. Like this villain is amazing. Cruella could be the best between Cruella and Ursula. That's like the best villain that Disney's have ever come out with. Okay. They're just bar none the best. Okay. And I don't believe that Cruella was ever young. She just came out old bitch smoker that hates dogs and wants to kill them and make them into fucking coats.
I'll say this before and I'll say it again, and it'll come up when we talk about this movie next month. It's the movie that nobody asked for.
And no, tell me this seriously. Emma Stone.
Oh, Emma Stone. Yeah, because
Emma Stone is Cruella.
Well, I see what they're going for, Nikki, and I think that
you go from Glenn Close, okay, which was a shitty remake to begin with, okay, which didn't really make up Cruella, to Emma Stone.
Well, she's essentially now not the character that was trying to steal dogs to make fur coats out of them. Now she's in
fashion industry somehow.
Yeah, but nobody understands her, like she's just like, nobody gets me. I'm just trying to make it in the fashion world. And you know what? Maybe it's time that I tell my story. And who do you want to get? It's like, oh, let's get Emma Stone. It's like, well, why are you doing that? Why are we making Cruella de Vil, who it's like, well, we got to talk about how she got to here. It's like, no, we don't.
No, she's evil and old and smoker.
Yeah, just like a piece of shit, and just like sells dog fur.
She super sucks.
And she murders dogs. She's happy about it. She's like, yeah, kill that dog. What's up? Like that.
You're evil.
I don't care how many dogs attack her in this movie. In fact, I'd probably be happy to watch a huge dog attack where they just rip her apart, and that's the end of it.
Like, I don't get this. Why they're taking a great
if they take Cruella and kill her off in the first part, it's like, okay, cool, I get it. All right, they're not gonna make another movie about this. It's like the dogs just rip her apart. Like there's that whole like a Lloyd Kaufman scene where dogs just ripping her throat out with like a hand puppet.
I would have to say, if they had a Cruella that got fucked up to shreds by like dogs, and like she like was in like a coma or something for like 2 years, okay, and then came back like super fucking pissed off and wanted to kill dogs and make them into coats, like I would have to say that's a pretty fucking cool play on it.
Hollywood, call us up, man. We are coming up with the shit off the top of our heads, man.
Okay,
It's like
but
our
whole,
idea's gotta be 10 times better than anything that we fucking watch on that screen. It's gonna be like, oh, but we've got ourselves a new fucking we got ourselves a new superhero, or we got ourselves a new anti-hero. This is our
no, not Cruella.
Disney's like, we've got Cruella. You can keep your fucking Deadpool. We got Cruella. It's like, what?
But not Cruella.
No.
You
Out
know
of
who
all
I
of them,
would
like
have chosen?
Jafar.
I would have chosen Eva Green
Uh,
as a young Cruella.
yeah. No, I mean, Glenn Close was great in that too, but I would also say Angelica Houston.
Yeah, that would be badass.
Well, look at all us just sitting here making things up.
I would easily do.
Yeah. So that's your send off, or are you? Do you wanna...
It's gonna be so bad. But comment and let me know.
Yeah. Again, send all your hate mail to Nicky. He's definitely going to read the comments, and if it does come up as Villainous Cinema and it's very hateful,
yeah,
it's probably not me or anyone that got a hold of my computer. So I'll just go ahead and say this as a sign off. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you enjoyed this review of last month's movies and next month's movies too, or this month's movies now that we're in it. So it'd be the first of every, I want to do the first of every month where we recap last week, do this one. And then we'll also, since you guys seem to really like Nicky's idea of the breakdown of good films, that's what we're going to be doing next week. And I believe we're doing The Lobster. I'm not sure though.
Yeah.
Because no one chimed in and said anything about like which movies that we need to be doing. Actually, they did. Oh, it's all on Facebook too, so there's a lot of them. But we already said that we were either going to do A Clockwork Orange or The Lobster, and I believe that that's where we're at.
Oh, no, we'll be going over and we'll be setting up a new movie breakdown next week. So
yeah, some of the comments for ideas that we have are one of the ones that I'm definitely doing for the podcast, and that's called Six String Samurai. We also have The Iron Giant, Wizards, any Christian Slater movie pre-96, Clue. We also have Phase 2, Saul Bass's underappreciated masterpiece. Do you know that one? Phase 4, sorry. I don't know that one. But yeah, that's Phase 4 looks like it might be really interesting for us to watch. But yeah.
I'm gonna do
well, we already said The Lobster, and that's something that I feel like as a breakdown, like that should be really interesting for us to do.
Yes, like that will be cool. And I really do love that movie. It's a really cool take. I think it's got we'll get more into it later on, but I recommend, like, whoever's watching this, to take a check out on that. Okay.
Yeah, check out the trailer at least, and it should and through like searches radios,
break that down,
go and hit up the trailer and
a better idea of what's going on, or if you want, watch the trailer.
Although the trailer doesn't really tell you shit about the movie. It's just like one of those movies you have to sit down and you're like,
Yeah, that is true, but you go ahead and watch the movie. We're gonna be breaking it down next weekend. If we don't, we will be breaking it down at some point, most definitely. And it's a phenomenal film. So anyway, we're gonna sign off.
We're gonna sign off.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. And want to let you guys know, like, anytime that you need to hit us up here, hit us up at villainouscinema.com, and help us out. That's my mom. We're
Thanks
doing
so much.
tonight. Oh, and also check out our next episode on iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you find your favorite podcasts. We'll be releasing tomorrow our podcast episode 38, I believe, on Strange Days. And that forgotten gem. So if you want to check us out, give us a subscribe. Love you guys so much. And Nikki, anything else you want to say?
No, comment and subscribe and let us know if you want to be on our show. Ciao.
And as always, enjoy. Better.
Enjoy. Latest.